something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job. Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. Thanksgiving is just days away, and that means putting together a big spread surrounded by family. But for some people, that's a challenge. Kristen Byrne talked to leaders at Northcott Neighborhood House about how they're trying to ease the strain.
On Thanksgiving Day, Northcott Neighborhood House plans to feed 1,000 families. Executive Director Tony Kearney says this is the second year of the event.
This is an opportunity to bring people together, not only the families who will be receiving the food, but the volunteers that will be handing out the food.
Tony says it's so important to remember that Thanksgiving is also a time of giving.
To understand that this is community. This is about serving those who are in need. And it's not always money. It's giving of yourself.
For the people who receive these meals, it's truly a blessing. Director of Operations Elizabeth Coggs says the home-cooked meals are made by celebrity chef Lisa McKay.
Our Thanksgiving menu is baked chicken, dressing, green bean casserole, macaroni and cheese, gravy rolls, and then a dessert.
With the pandemic still dragging on and rising costs for just about everything, parents have a lot on their plates.
This is an opportunity to help parents alleviate some of that stress, especially with Christmas following Thanksgiving.
It's just a blessing, you know what I mean? And it's a blessing to be a blessing.
And that's why the Northcott Neighborhood House isn't just giving these meals to people who live next door.
This is open to the community, and the community is Milwaukee.
And it's a wonderful thing. And if you would like to pick up a dinner, they will be available at Northcott Neighborhood House on 6th Street. Pickup is from 8 a.m. to noon. For more information, we do have a link for you at tmj4.com. Pretty dresses, fancy hairdos, and a crowd of smiling fans. That's the treatment young models got during this year's Design to Inspire event, which benefits the MAC Fund. Our Sarah McGrew talked to those kids and their families about how a fashion show is fighting childhood cancer.
Today is 5-year-old Talia's day to shine.
I'm going on the runway.
She is one of the featured kid models in the 39th annual Design to Inspire event.
We walk down the runway and then we spin. And then we go back.
It's a day her mom wasn't sure would be possible when Talia was diagnosed with kidney cancer at the age of 3.
Think back to that time and you don't know if you're going to make it in many ways, but to be here today is definitely something that many of us parents just hope to be part of.
Design to Inspire is put on by Women for MAC. The goal is to raise over $100,000 to support the MAC Fund. MAC stands for Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer and funds research to help find cures for childhood cancer and related blood disorders.
That all translates into dollars that we so need for the kids that you're going to see today and so many others.
Talia is one of many kids who has benefited from the MAC Fund.
They helped to save her life, and they have been there for us through everything.
Talia had her kidney and tumor removed and went through chemo and radiation.
And I had to drink yucky medicine. And that's what made my hair fall out, but then it growed back.
And so she made sure her curls were perfect before taking the runway.
The kids on stage, it is honestly an inspiration. They're the reason why we do what we do.
To see these kids grow up, go to college, get married, have families of their own.
And because of the MAC Fund, Talia gets to do just that.
I want to be an actor when I grow up, and what I'm going to act is being an artist.
Oh, and the MAC Fund is giving so many kids and families hope. The Design to Inspire event was even more special this year. It was the first year back in person since the pandemic, and as you can see, the kids had a wonderful time. Owning a gun is a big responsibility, and a local firearms trainer is trying to make sure people are up to that task. Shannon Sims talked to him about how he's teaching women of color how to protect themselves.
The scenario: home alone and someone breaks in, but how will student Tia Cannon respond? Tia is learning firearms training. with prolific arms instructor Jair Vance and Eddie Silas. As a mother and business owner, she wanted to protect herself and her family.
Women are underrepresented when it comes to firearm. I mean, black women in particular, right? And the whole purpose was to get them firearm safety training to where they know how to respond in emergency situations.
And that is one of the reasons Eddie and his partner created STRAPPED, which stands for Safety Techniques Acquired and Required to Properly Perform Emergency Defense.
Make sure your hand is all the way up on the neck of the weapon there.
Empowering women to feel confident in possessing a firearm.
And some of the things that we highlight again is safe firearm storage, also how to use your weapon, avoiding the need to use your weapon, and so on. So it's very important to get those skills down because owning a firearm is a discipline just like martial arts. It takes practice, it takes patience.
In a recent June 2021 Pew Research poll, 22% of women in America own a gun. Cheryl Rebhouse opened Bear Arms Boutique gun range in Mequon with women in mind.
So I made it more aesthetically pleasing. And at the beginning, I only had 10% women. Now I'm up to 45% coming. I had 0 female employees. Now I'm up to 3 NRA, range safety officer, female employees.
Meanwhile, Eddie continues the work to give women the training needed to feel safe owning a gun.
And I want to protect them all, but the fact is I can't. But at the very least, I can teach them how to protect themselves. So it makes me feel great and accomplished.
Very important. Now, if you would like to sign up for the next Strapped class, Eddie is still taking on students. We do have a link on our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. Children are our future, and a local organization is working to ensure better futures. How the president of Marquette University is working to help people overcome trauma and how it can affect their education after the break. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. We all learn differently, and teachers are true heroes for making sure kids have the tools they need to be successful. But trauma can be a huge roadblock to learning. Marquette University's President Mike Lovell put together a team to knock those barriers down. This is what support looks like. It was called the Lovell Strong 5K Fun Run. On November 7th, close to 500 people laced up their shoes to show support for President Michael R. Lovell and everyone battling cancer. Dr. Lovell remains on the job while undergoing treatment. Student athletes thought this would be the perfect way to pay tribute to their leader who's living with the disease. Lovell is an avid runner. The men's lacrosse team organized this event.
It's just something I remember the rest of my life. It makes me so proud to be part of the Marquette community in here in Milwaukee. And I just loved everybody who was there and was supporting me and supporting not just me, but everyone who was experiencing cancer.
But Dr. Lovell has joined a race that could be called a mental health marathon. He and his wife Amy formed an organization called SWIM. SWIM raises awareness for the need to treat and understand trauma.
The whole goal of SWIM from the beginning was to make Milwaukee the most trauma-informed city in the country. And so really it's, first of all, we've been all about raising awareness, and then we've also been all about collaboration.
SWIM stands for Scaling Wellness in Milwaukee. Community leaders work together to address and heal those affected by trauma. What have you seen in terms of progress with SWIM locally that makes you proud?
Now we're strategically focusing on different areas, like actually training, specific trainings we're now offering, around trauma, both for the workforce, but also to help employees and individuals, really become the best versions of themselves.
Mental health experts believe treating trauma will improve families and reduce societal ills like violence, addiction, and homelessness.
We think about children that maybe experience trauma in their household, don't have things to eat, they've seen violence. When they walk into the classroom, they're not in a part of their brain where they're ready to learn. And so how do we ensure that we understand what happened to those kids and help them, when they first walk in the classroom, get to a space where they are having the ability to learn.
Diversity was key in choosing leaders to head up SWIM.
We have to understand that trauma cuts across, all demographics. And if you look at adults, 1 in 2 adults have had an adverse childhood experience in their lives, and they've faced some trauma. And so we all need to find ways to heal from that.
Frank Cumberbatch is a vice president with Bader Philanthropies. He's on the swim board of directors. He knows children facing trauma need different learning tools.
You have to really understand the whole child or the whole person. You can't expect to tell a child to read if you don't understand what's going on in that child's brain in the moment, to focus. If you're thinking about your mom, and you were there when she got shot, there's no way that you can read.
Cumberbatch shares a story of a little boy who went to school for the sole purpose of getting in trouble.
The boy was 8 years old, and he comes to school, hits another child to go back home. Why? To protect his mother from her boyfriend. I mean, come on. 8 years old. And he wants to go home because that's the only time he feels good in his soul, that I'm here, your boyfriend is not going to hit you.
But when teachers listened to the boy's story and the child was taught differently, he changed. And that's why swim exists.
And once he told the story, that little boy is now thriving at that school.
Such outcomes keep Cumberbatch and Lovell optimistic.
Until we start seeing people as people, and really understanding them as individuals. As Mike said, what happened to you? And you say it in an authentic way that the person recognizes that you really want to know. You really want to hear. And so once we have that dialogue going on, I think we will get children and families to open up, and we will make progress.
From a fundamental viewpoint as a city, if we can start addressing each other's trauma, again, helping people to the best version of themselves, it will really help so many of the disparities we see, whether it be around education, whether it be about healthcare, whether it be about economic opportunities. All of these things, will be improved because people will be functioning at a much higher level.
And more people can feel uplifted just like Dr. Lovell felt after this successful event. A reminder that kindness and understanding are important parts in the marathon of mental and physical health.
When you go through cancer, it's hard, and there are times when it knocks you down and you feel, like you get pretty low, and it's that energy you get with others supporting you, and that allows you to pick yourself up and keep fighting the fight, and don't ever underestimate the power of the kind words, the gestures, the notes, the things, the prayers that you provide people that experience cancer, because it really does help.
Absolutely. And Dr. Lovell says Marquette is a special place where people care about others like a family. And it's so amazing to see the work that Dr. Lovell and his team is doing to raise awareness on this very important issue. Well, winter weather is back, but a local business owner wants you outside in a bathrobe. After the break, we're going to tell you about a Scandinavian tradition coming to Milwaukee. But first, you're going to meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week.
Hi there, my name is Jennifer Smea, and I'm with HAWS, the Humane Animal Welfare Society. I am so excited to introduce you to my new best friend here. This is Tara. She's 4 months old, and she's part of a litter of puppies that's available for adoption here at HAWS. One thing about puppies is you need to be ready to adopt. They're a lot of work, but they're worth every time that you spend with them. With Tara and her litter mates, we're talking large breed puppies. So we're not just talking a puppy that's going to be 40, 50 pounds when she grows up. She's probably going to be more like 60, 70 pounds. So take that into account. Even though we don't know for sure, she's going to probably be big, and that's going to add to your work while you're training. So if you're interested in adopting any of these girls or any of their other pets at HAWS, log on to hawspets.org/adopt or give us a call at 262-542-8851. We have lots of amazing pets here at HAWS, and they are all positively Milwaukee.
Welcome back. You might have tried a sauna at a hotel or gym. Well, a business owner in Milwaukee is trying to make that experience a little more authentic. James Groh talked to her about this new opportunity.
You might be asking, why is he in a robe? Well, I'm at the Zocalo Food Truck Park where there's a new pop-up business. And it's not a food truck, it's sauna. It's the perfect way just to relax and chill Oh, that's really nice.
It's a very quiet, calm, meditative thing.
Welcome to Hot Spell Sauna. Jamie Meyer opened this urban pop-up sauna in Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood in early November after a solo trip through Northern Europe, where she said saunas are common and popular.
It's novel, no, it doesn't exist here, but I would like to make it less novel and make it more normal.
There's a difference between this and what you'd find in a gym.
You're gonna get hot and then you're gonna cool down. And you're gonna go back and forth between the two about 3 or 4 times.
There's a bench to sit on to cool off, or go to this heated greenhouse before returning. The sauna can fit about 6 people, and each session is 75 minutes. But who would want to sit outside in a bathing suit and a robe during a Wisconsin winter?
It's 160 degrees in there. You will get hot, and 5-degree weather will feel good.
Well, Jamie is hoping this idea takes off and she can open a larger facility with multiple saunas, cold showers, even locker rooms. If you would like to book a session, we do have a link for you at tmj4.com. Roy Arndt has seen a lot of the world, and he's had a lot of time to do it. The Milwaukee World War II veteran just celebrated his 100th birthday. Katie Crowther talked to him about the lessons he's learned during that time.
100 years of photos and memories. As an Air Force pilot who survived World War II, as a husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, Roy Arndt's 100 years of life are well lived.
I am very, very pleased to have my family with me and to celebrate the first 100th birthday of anybody in my family.
Some of Roy's friends and neighbors at East Castle Place Senior Community on Milwaukee's East Side also helped celebrate. There was cake and champagne for Roy, who shared his pride for his longtime profession and city. Roy worked as an attorney until he was in his 70s.
I spent my lifetime practicing law here in Milwaukee and enjoyed every minute of it. Milwaukee's been good to me, and I've tried to be good to Milwaukee, and it's worked.
I think my brothers and I really try to live life based on what Grandpa has given us. Never giving up, working really hard, helping those around you, leaving the world a better place than you found it.
If only there were more Roys in the world for the next 100 years.
Oh, the big part of this is family coming together, and I am truly grateful for everyone who's here.
What a blessing. Congratulations to Roy. Living to 100 is certainly a milestone. Now, I don't know what his secret is, but having a loving family certainly does not hurt. Thanksgiving may have you thinking of a huge meal, but it's also a time for us to be grateful. So we did ask you, what are you thankful for this year?
I'm thankful for my friends and my family and to be able to go home and see them. Good health and good weather.
I'm thankful for my 3 doses, my family, and their 3 doses.
I'm healthy and nobody else got COVID, so that's pretty good.
I'm thankful for my health and the chance to enjoy a beautiful state park. It wasn't supposed to be here. It's a man-made park, and they did a great job.
I'm thankful for this walkway. I walk it every day. I had come out here one year and there were a bunch of little baby foxes out here. So you always see something different out here.
I'm thankful for having a family that I can go back to this holiday and the vaccine, being able to actually see them and spend time with them safely.
I am thankful for this beautiful day we have in the lake. Well, I'm from northern Wisconsin and I'm visiting. But I was just talking about beautiful Milwaukee, and we are so lucky to have such a great city.
We definitely are. Now, if you have something you're grateful for and you'd like to share it with us, or you'd like to suggest a question for us to ask in the future, just go to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group and leave us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Just because it's getting cooler does not mean you cannot enjoy the great outdoors. Leaders with Waukesha County Parks feel so strongly about that you can go to the parks for free. Thankful for Parks Week runs from November 22nd to the 28th, and officials want people to be able to sample the natural beauty of our area and see what each park has to offer. This sounds like a great opportunity for all of us. And another wonderful event to look forward to over Thanksgiving, the Positively Milwaukee Awards. This year, Darcy Groyle received an award for her military service. One vet she works with at Milwaukee's VA Medical Center says Darcy's work actually saved his life.
I didn't really like myself too much, and I didn't really have a very high opinion of society. And then I started to justify those thoughts of suicide. But Darcy gave me hope. In essence, she saved my life.
See how Darcy is changing the face of Milwaukee's VA on our Positively Milwaukee Awards show. Thanksgiving Day, you can see it at 4 p.m. right here on TMJ4. And I'm going to be back with my quote of the week. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. In the end, we will not remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. That quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the civil rights advocate who urged his followers to use nonviolent methods to achieve their goals. Dr. King was also well known for including people of all races and backgrounds in his fight for equality. He knew that for fairness to be achieved, everybody needs to work together. People in positions of power need to speak up. The fight for equality is not done. It takes all of us every day, even in small ways. You too can reach out and help somebody who may not have the same privileges as you. And I hope you can keep that in mind this week. And as always, stay positively Milwaukee.